Hello everyone and welcome to our 65th Stately Office Hours. This is where us, the team at Stately, give you updates on the latest with Stately Studio and for XState. We are going to start off this week, now this might be a little confusing, with intro to the team who are here. You'll have to decide whether you pay attention to what they say or what their titles underneath their names say. So my name is Laura and I do advocacy and education and related things for Stately. Next up, David.
Hey, I'm David, founder of Stately, creator of XState.
And Kevin.
Hi, I'm Kevin, and I'm an engineer at Stately.
Nick.
I'm Nick, and I do a lot of the design stuff here at Stately.
And Anders.
I'm Anders. I'm a software engineer at Stately, based in lovely Denmark.
Very lovely Denmark. And Farzad.
Whatever Anders said, just my name is Farzad and I'm from Finland.
Also lovely.
And last but absolutely not least, we're really happy to have you here today, Gavin. It's been a while. Who are you?
Right, it has been. Hi, everybody. I'm Gavin. I'm Stately's resident Gavin. Some days that's software development, but I like to think of myself as the glue that really holds the team together. You know, I keep everyone on their toes, keep everything well-rounded, you know, just chill.
Actually, speaking of the glue that holds the team together, Jenny is currently at 200 OK in Oklahoma, giving a talk very shortly. So if you happen to be there right now, make sure you say hello to David, who is also there, and Jenny. Hopefully we'll have a video of that to share with you all at a later date, because it's going to be a great talk. Really now, without any further ado, we had a very exciting office hours a couple of weeks ago, shared so much cool stuff with you. So we want to keep that going. So starting off with a small improvement that you are really going to notice. David, do you want to let us know a little bit about what's going on with copy paste?
Sure, yeah. So we made a few copy paste improvements. And so this has been a long time coming. Our copy pasting for diagrams is usually pretty straightforward, but when you have nested diagrams and nested states and events that could connect to each other, it gets a lot more complicated. And so we've actually improved the way that we do copy pasting a little, a little bit. And there's definitely more improvements coming soon. So now you'll notice, like if I copy and paste these three states and just put it somewhere, well, I mean, that shows copy, but you could see that they actually do hold their shape. This just shows copy. But now if I, let's add a few more states and just show this. If I copy all four of these states, paste it in here, they keep their structure. And it's not going to assume which one you want to see initial state, so you have to add that. So it's a much more predictable way of copying and pasting. I could even copy the parent state over here, paste it inside here, and it's going to be like, the idea is for it to be just as you would expect. So we hope that this experience makes it a little bit more intuitive, how you're copying and pasting states. And remember that like we also have some behavior around like how transitions are pasted into states if you don't copy the previous one. So you could see that this one actually took this previous state. We're still debating this behavior, like what should be the default behavior of this. Like if I do this, it's going to be a self transition. But anyway, overall, the main point is that copy paste should now be a little bit, more predictable. So
I did copy and pasting from machine to machine the other day, and that was really cool. And it just worked. It was like magic.
I never thought to do machine to machine.
Oh yeah, you could absolutely do that.
Yeah, you don't expect it on web apps a lot of the time. Like you'll expect it in a native app. You wouldn't necessarily expect it to work so well in a web app, but it works really well. And that's very helpful. I mean, of course, you can always duplicate or fork your machine too. There are plenty of ways of doing that kind of behavior, but just copy pasting a little bit, it's perfect. So speaking of very exciting, small, but massive improvements to the experience, Farzad, this week you posted a tweet that got people very excited. Do you want to share us a little bit about that?
Yeah, actually, I'm already sharing my screen. So do you mind putting that? Yeah, right. Okay. So if you're like me, who wants to restructure their state machines all the time, you probably encounter this situation where you need to change the parent of state nodes and transitions, and you need to move things around, basically like groundbreaking changes that wasn't easy before. For example, in this parent state, if you were to put it as a child of another state here, you would have to open the toolbox on the right side, and then from the parent select box here, choose another state. And basically, this changes the parent of that state to be another state. But this is not intuitive. In the spirit of doing everything on the canvas, following the great improvements that David made on copy pasting, we want to do things right here by interactions with keyboard and mouse, right? So now it's easier to do that because you can do it with the keyboard, basically. We haven't released this yet because there is still some pending things to do. But long story short, if you were to do that, let's get back to the initial state here. Not this one. Okay. If you were to do that, you could press the meta key on your keyboard, being Control on Windows and Command on Mac OS. Then drag things around, and if you can like drop the state that you're dragging onto a valid drop zone, then we would highlight where it's going to be dropped. If I release my mouse, the reparenting is going to work. But this is great if you wanted to do it with one state, but now you can also do it with multiple states. You can select multiple stuff and reparent them onto a single state, because it works based on the selection infrastructure that we have in the graph, and it should work the same way. It's not pretty now because we need to think about persisting the layout in a way that we find the best position for you to drop this stuff, but we'll get around that very soon. Also, Nick has an idea that also something that Honors also suggested, that we need to make it a little more predictable to show you what's being moved. So if you were to grab stuff around, we would show like a sequence of nodes stacked on top of each other that are moved around, or maybe like a clone of them, so that you know that the layout is still the same, but things are moving. We're still discussing these things and trying to implement the best experience around it, but this is basically it. You can reparent using keyboard on the canvas.
It is really exciting. And Kevin, it makes me think of all of the machines that we've been modeling in Editor Hour.
Yeah, I'd love to just drag things around, so that's going to be great.
Yeah,
we do a lot of modeling in our internal Editor Hour. That's not public or live.
I think another workaround was to cut and paste the stuff, but also partially cutting and pasting was also broken sometimes. So these two changes that me and David made is going to make it a lot better to work with the canvas. They go hand in hand, basically.
Yeah, it is going to be fantastic. And it will work really well with what Nick previewed last week, and you as well, Farzad, with your work on blocks, the idea that everything is so much more editable and focused on the canvas itself.
Yes, true.
And Mateo says, please do a Mexican wave for Farzad.
That's going in my CV.
So next up, Nick, continuing on from all of the exciting stuff that we shared in the last office hours, you have another sneak peek for us.
Yes, Laura. Yeah. So we just wanted to show another small demo here. If it'll share, there we go. So in the last office hours, Farzad and I previewed the upcoming studio release. And I highly recommend you go watch it if you haven't seen it yet. I won't really talk about it now, but this is it in the current state. And one feature that I added this week is, so you could see whenever you have a bunch of panels open, it can end up being quite a bit. Stuff gets covered up. And I don't know about you, but whenever I'm working on something, I like to just focus on that one thing. I always go full screen mode. So now we added a Zen mode feature where you can just go, I can just press Command period. And now everything hides, the UI hides. And so you can quickly toggle it. You could also hit Command / for some people who have that as their habit. And it's in the editor menu under View, Show Hide UI. So now you can completely work on you could focus on just doing your work on the canvas, which goes along with the blocks mode, because you don't need any other panels. You could just do almost everything here. So yeah,
and that ties in really nicely with what Farzad was just showing with reparenting as well.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Oh.
So it's very exciting. There's so much new stuff coming really, really soon.
Cool.
Just gotta we'll let you know first. If you do watch our office hours, you will always be the first to know everything. But also keep an eye on our change log at feedback.stately.ai, or you can find the change log if you hit your little user icon in Stately Studio. You can find the change log from there. Nick says, looking forward to more keyboard shortcuts. And that's definitely something we've got planned, isn't it? Because I was noticing the other day as I was going through all the feature requests in our feedback.stately.ai, which is, she says, trying to find the banner. So many banners somewhere in here. Thank you, whoever magicked that up. And so if you go there, you can request features, and you can also upvote existing features. And in there, we do have a lot of suggestions for keyboard shortcuts. So it would be really useful to know what you would like and what you would find useful, because I think this is definitely something that we want to work on, isn't it, folks?
Absolutely.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah, we want, like, I mean, whatever modality you use, like we were even thinking of, people want to work mostly on their iPad. I'm personally a heavy keyboard user, so if I'm just interacting almost completely with the editor in the keyboard, that would be a really great experience. And also for accessibility, it's just a major win.
A +1.
Yeah, definitely something that we are keeping an eye on. And so, keeping on rolling with cool stuff that is going on, more things being released, XState V5. David, do you want to talk a little bit about the package changes?
Sure, yeah. So this was actually recently merged by Mateusz, literally says 3 hours ago. But we're making a few changes, and these I feel are really good changes because they're massive simplifications to the way that we're doing the React package, and also following it up with all of the other packages, which include Svelte, Vue, Solid, etc. So in this PR that was just merged, and we're going to be merging it to V5 beta soon once we have those other packages in, there's first of all going to be a new hook called use actor ref, and hopefully you could all see that. Use actor ref is basically use interpret. So instead of use interpret or use spawn, you're going to use actor ref, and that's just going to return you that actor ref. Now, the great thing about this hook and the other hooks to follow is that you could pass in any type of actor logic. So not just a machine, but from promise, from observable, from transition, all of those other things, and also from whatever you decide to create. And that will be the subject of, I guess, a future webinar or something, but you could actually create your own actor logic that does your own custom behavior, and it's going to use the exact same interface. So yeah, use actor ref, it's a hook to remember. Also, use machine, I'm assuming Mateusz isn't here, so I'll just say that we're assuming that this is going to be deprecated, but still basically an alias for use actor. But use actor, which was previously something that took in an actor and returned use state and send, now use actor takes in that actor logic, whether it's a machine or, like I mentioned, from promise, from observable, from any of those other things. Like from transition is over here as an example, and it's going to return you that state and send. The reason that we're not, that use actor with an actor ref is not going to be the default anymore or actually it's not going to be supported at all, is because it's a little bit redundant, because you already have the actor. You could call actor.send, everything's going to work fine, and you could use the use selector hook. So use spawn, as mentioned, is going to be removed in favor of use actor ref. And also, like I said, the previous usage of use actor with the actor ref is replaced. This is the new pattern where, since you already have the actor ref, if you want the entire state, just pass in an identity function, but ideally you would only select the states that you need. So useselector, really powerful hook, and then you could just use the actorref.send method to send events over. So overall, you only need to remember 3 hooks: use actor ref, and use selector. And with those 3 hooks, you're going to be able to do pretty much anything with any type of actor logic in any of the packages coming soon.
Fantastic. And if you want to know more about migrating to XState version 5, you can check out the webinar that David and I did earlier in the week. And if you are on YouTube, you can find that in our latest live videos. If you're on LinkedIn, you can find that in our latest events. And there we also have on our docs a huge amount of information on migrating to V5. That page is in progress. We're updating it and improving it as we speak. So there will be even more in there for you soon. You can find that in stately.ai/docs/xstate-v5. That is all new docs for V5. They're a work in progress, but I think they're going very well. And more on XState V5, David. We want to thank everyone who's trying out already.
Yeah, absolutely. So we did that webinar on Monday, and it's so exciting to see many people actually trying it out. If you're worried about is XState version 5 beta right now going to do the same thing as version 4? Right now, the feature set is even greater than version 4. So anything you could do in version 4, you're going to be able to do in version 5 and more. So I wouldn't be worried about that. The thing that I would just pose as a disclaimer is that version 5 is still in beta. So we're at the phase right now where there might be unexpected breaking changes. We made all the expected breaking changes in the alpha, so beta might have some unexpected ones. So, pardon our dust. We're still working on changing things. And also there's a lot of things coming, like improving the types and things like that. And we'll have more information on that for you next week. We're going to be making a bigger announcement about XState version 5 beta. But of course, as you watching the office hours, thank you, by the way, you are the first to know.
Always the first to know. We really do appreciate those of you who turn up live. And those who watch it back recorded. Yeah. It's not as special as being here live, though, is it?
You are the second to know.
So earlier I mentioned that this week Jenny is speaking at 200 OK, which is a conference in Tulsa, Oklahoma. And so we should hopefully have the video of that very soon for you. And we have even more events coming up. So next week we have JS Heroes in Romania. David, that's you speaking there?
Yeah, so I'm going to be giving a similar talk to the one that I gave in React Finland called The 2 Types of State Management. And so I'm going to be talking about the 2 kinds of state management, both direct and indirect state management that we do in our applications. And I'm not going to be talking about why one's better than the other, but just various trade-offs. Of course, I'm going to be talking a little bit about XState, but also the ecosystem as a whole, and general advice on how to best model your state, regardless of which tools you use and which libraries you use.
Fabulous. So if you're in Romania or whichever city JS Heroes is in, sorry, I don't know that off the top of my head.
I've never heard of Cluj, but yeah.
Then make sure you join in there. And also at the end of the month, we have JS Day Canarius coming up for folks who like a conference in the sunshine. And who's going to be speaking at that?
Yeah, so Jenny's going to be speaking there again. And I will also be talking there. I might change my talk, though, just because we have Eric Rasmussen doing a very similar talk, and I would rather him take the stage on that talk than me. So I might change my note.
Oh.
But yeah.
Well, fabulous. Oh, if Eric's going to be there. Hi, Eric. We know that you often are here in our office hours or watching us back later. Looking forward to seeing all of those talks then. Well, 3 great talks. That's going to be a great one for those who are out in the Canary Islands.
Mm-hmm.
And later on today, so for fans of live streams, I know that you'll really love the Stately streams that Farzad and David have been doing. So what are you both doing in your stream today?
Yeah, so Farzad and I, and I'll let him talk about it a little bit more, we are going to be continuing our modeling a graphical, so a basic diagramming application. We had a lot of fun modeling it and actually creating it last time. We're basically making the most basic version of a diagramming tool like the Stately editor or like TL Draw or any of those similar tools. And it was really cool. Steve Ruiz actually popped in the chat last time. But yeah, this time we're going to be doing at least 2 things, or maybe just 2 things. The first is we're going to be migrating it to XState V5 beta, just to show you how easy that is. And the second is we're going to be adding some fun drag and drop behavior. So should be fun.
Totally up both of your streets. Farzad, this is your 3rd episode of this particular stream, isn't it? It's been very popular.
Yeah. You mean the 3rd one for the diagramming application?
Yeah.
I think it's got to be a part of like 20 episodes or something. There like
wow,
a ton of
that's a
features.
promise.
What did I sign up for?
Season of a show at this point.
I'm tricking David in modeling the open source version of the studio, so we all go, out of jobs.
Great.
It's a really fun series of episodes because we plan for like 2 features and David gets carried away and models like 5 additional ones.
I will restrain myself this time.
But these are very popular, and if you want to watch them or catch up on those that have already happened, you can check them out on YouTube or on LinkedIn. On YouTube, we have a playlist of all of the previous Stately streams, so you'll be able to catch up from there. And hopefully, if you are on YouTube right now, you can just go to our Stately AI channel on YouTube and you'll be able to find the next up live stream coming in there. Does anyone have any questions they want to ask us? You can always ask us in the comments if you have anything that you wanted to ask about Stately Studio, about XState, or anything that you wanted to share, any feedback. And does anyone on the team have anything else they wanted to add? I know that we've really worn ourselves out with a lot of work in progress in the last couple of office hours. So that may be everything we have to share for now. Fabulous. Well, I think this is a short and sweet one, which is good because the roadworks outside my house have managed to hold off for the entire duration. So we'll end before that cement mixer comes out again. So thank you everyone for joining us. We really appreciate you coming. We will see you again in a couple of weeks with more exciting demos and features to share from Stately Studio and XState. Catch you later. Bye-bye.
See you all.